Following the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago for the stolen secret documents, classified documents, MAGA supporters have rallied, of course, behind former President Donald Trump, including there was an actual rally outside of the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, that happened over the weekend on Sunday. In fact, photojournalist Carla Cote shared scenes from this rally on Twitter, including this video. I'm going to show you a part of it.
Catching.
Here we go! Woo! Strong America! A super Trump.
Bring back Aunt Jemima! Aunt Jemima! Bring back Aunt Jemima!
Hey, everybody, bring back Aunt Jemima. You know, Aunt Jemima. Because for some reason it's gone, even though it's exactly the same under a different name. Literally the same pancake mix and syrup. Just minus, I guess, the racist caricature. But you know what? I realized looking at that that's pretty much indicative of the Trump movement, because they don't care about the substance. The thing, you know, like the actual pancake mix or syrup, they don't care about that. They don't care that it's, other than the name change, it's exactly the same. It all comes down to branding. It comes down to the outer packaging, and it comes down to basically zero change, nothing in there. And that's what it is. All right, so there are other signs, of course, weirdo signs. You might have saw some of them. One of them, I keep my money, freedom, and guns. You keep the change. Again, going back to that theme of they don't really like change on the outside. They want to keep everything the same. The same. They love the racist caricature. They want it back because that's what MAGA's about. We're going to bring all the old stuff back, including the racism, or especially the racism. Another sign said this: may President Trump family be surrounded by the full armor of God. May no weapon formed against them prosper, but boomerang against the offenders. In Jesus' name. Again, using religion to defend one of the most unchristian-like people in the country. Can't make this stuff up. Other signs, of course, are basically more QAnon conspiracy theories. So, again, not a surprise. Not a surprise to see the, you know, how people are still held in thrall of this guy. It really does, you know, prove cognitive dissonance, right? And a complete rejection of facts and reality. And it would do us well to remember that these people exist. These people exist. They're very, very motivated, especially when it comes to political action. And if they don't get their way, there are some, as we've seen, that resort to political violence. Funny enough, right? So I did the story about the guy who attacked the FBI building. Immediately after that comes out, and this guy was a prolific poster on Truth Social, a follower of, people on that platform, pro-Trump influencers. And he had posted a lot of things like, hey, we should do violence. Now, after he goes and gets in a shootout with the cops, which he lost, MAGA immediately, this guy died for Trump. MAGA comes out and says, Antifa. It wasn't us, it was them. Of course it was Antifa. Now wait, how is it that Antifa are soy boy, latte swilling, crying libs, but at the same time, people who can not only infiltrate the crowd on January 6th, but also get into shootouts with cops after posting months of pro-Trump stuff on their pages, their different social media outlets. How can that guy be Antifa? I don't quite get it. But again, it goes back to this cognitive dissonance. It goes back to anything that does not fit their predetermined worldview immediately getting rejected. And that's what happens. Now, there was another protest, by the way, that happened over the weekend. And it was a little bit more serious. And it was outside the FBI building in Phoenix, Arizona. So no, it's one thing to be goofy and do the above protest, which, again, not violent. Again, goofy, ridiculous, kind of funny. With all sorts of weirdo Trump stuff. I don't actually care about that. I think that's totally fine. It's culty, yes. But this one in Phoenix was a little bit more different. CNN reported that Trump supporters at that protest were carrying handguns and assault-style weapons. Oh. One protester said that they were there to, quote, protest the unlawful search at the Florida property. It's funny how they claim that it's unlawful when they literally followed the letter of the law, got a warrant from a magistrate, and did an orderly search, let Secret Service know ahead of time, signed off by the Justice Department. They went through all the steps to make sure that it was completely lawful, and then released the warrant. No, anything that they don't like, it's unlawful to them, of course. But I would bet that if they had searched a Democrat's house, for example, they had searched Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama, that it would have been completely and totally justified and 100% lawful. Dissonance, man. Fox 10 Phoenix also reported that one person had waved Confederate flags and others held "Honor your oath and abolish the FBI" signs. Ah, yes, good old waving Confederate flags while claiming to be a good American. Great. Now, an FBI spokesperson did tell CNN that the Phoenix protests, which contained about 25 people, was lawful and disbanded by around noon. So there wasn't any violence, there wasn't any injuries or anything like that. So that's good, but still, it's pretty dangerous when you have these protests that involve people standing in front of federal buildings with guns so soon after someone with a gun tried to break into a federal building. and so they're showing up with weapons. And I don't think that any protester should show up with weapons, right or left. Not a good thing to see, because whenever you involve weapons, there is a possibility that things could escalate with those weapons and people will die as a result. And so, again, I get concerned about that, because already we're starting to see more escalation of rhetoric against law enforcement and even possible, or even some attacks as well. I am very, very concerned of what's going to happen in the future if all of this continues.